Good morning. It's Leslie with Redeeming Wellness, and it's fall, and I want to talk to you about vegetables, root vegetables, squash, all the things we think of for fall. A lot of times, root vegetables get overlooked because we kind of think only of potatoes and sweet potatoes, maybe onions and carrots, but there's so many more root vegetables that have a lot to offer, especially for our bone health and our brain health. We have some strange words like tubers, rhizomes. As for a class of root veggies that do include potatoes, yams, water chestnuts, ginger, and turmeric. Some people don't think of those as being root vegetables. And then we have bulbs, which would be garlic and onions, fennel, shallots. And then we have the true root vegetables, which are carrots, parsnips, beets, radishes, turnips, and a sweet potato. Another reason people often consider roots just another vegetable, but they aren't because they store so many nutrients in the root of what we have, and it's a powerhouse of energy, minerals, and vitamins. There are also three other reasons to eat root vegetables or eat more of these what we think of as fall vegetables. Um, Really high in dietary fiber. Get a lot of fiber, a lot of bang for your buck. And diets that include a lot of fiber promote better blood glucose stability, blood sugar regulation, improve digestive health. Dietary fiber helps clear the body of excess estrogens and toxins. Another reason is that we think of them as being resistant starch. Now, this may be a new term for you, resistant starch. It was for me till a couple of years ago. Resistant starch is a type of complex carbohydrate that doesn't break down easily in the gut. And it arrives in the colon and ferments there instead of the stomach, which is where we don't want it to ferment. When it goes to the colon, it feeds our good gut bacteria and produces beneficial short chain fatty acids. Where I first heard about resistant starch was some chefs who are very keto oriented and healthy and wanting to stabilize their blood sugar. So if you cook your potatoes at night, like you boil them, you refrigerate them overnight, and in the morning, it turns it into resistant starch. And the same thing can apply to rice, cooked at night, refrigerated, and in the morning, has more resistant starch. So you're not getting that incredible spike to your bloodstream. Root vegetables, our fall vegetables, our squashes, have lots of vitamins and minerals because of their close proximity to our soils. They are chelators of a lot of minerals like potassium and zinc and copper and phosphorus and magnesium. However, the mineral content in this carrot is dependent on the soil it's grown in. So another reason to support your local organic farmers who are really interested in sustainable farming. In other words, they're putting a lot of things back into the soil. When you have a lot of minerals in your vegetables, they're very alkalizing. And alkalizing is an environment that we want to have to support healthy bones. If we tend to run acidic, we break down our bone tissue, and we don't want that to happen. Lots of root vegetables are loaded with vitamins A, C, and B6. And some of the root vegetables, like my organic gold beet, comes with edible greens, the tops, dandelion greens, chard, but beets, especially, I've used the clean, fresh greens, saute and braise them down in a sauce. And these greens, especially radishes, are really good sources of vitamin K. Now, what do we know about vitamin K? It's the buddy to vitamin D, and they go together to help shuttle calcium in the right places so that we have healthy bones. You've probably heard about carrots being good for eyesight because of beta carotene, and it's a vitamin A precursor. But carrots are also a great source of molybdenum. Easy for me to say. This mineral, molybdenum, aids in fat and carbohydrate metabolism, as does magnesium. So this is a great mineral that we get from organic carrots. And if you're concerned about weight gain or insulin resistance and you're trying to avoid potatoes and sweet potatoes, low carb doesn't mean no carb. So again, resistant starch, refrigerating after you've cooked it, eat it the next day, but eat the greens, eat the fiber. It's so good for you. And so we also know that some of our root vegetables, like onions, ginger, beets, and turmeric, have powerful anti-inflammatory qualities. And garlic is antibacterial. It has wonderful antibacterial qualities that help limit bacterial overgrowth in our guts. Radishes have long been known to have a mild hypoglycemic effect for diabetes. And again, ginger and turmeric, very anti-inflammatory. So what I recommend is buying up a bunch of great root vegetables, carrots, parsnips, some butternut squash, some shallots, um, large sheet pan, spray, toss in olive oil, a little bit of salt, maybe some rosemary, and roast them at 400 degrees for about 20 to 30 minutes. That way you're getting this large plate of great root vegetables that you can use throughout the week, whether you put it in a soup or a stew or as a side dish, just knowing that powerhouse of minerals, vitamins, fiber, good for our bones, good for our brains, just good for overall health. So this is Leslie Bumpus, again, wanting to help you live with confidence, strength, and grace.